আমাদের মনে আছে আমি ইগো নিয়ে কয়েক মাস আগে করেছিলাম রিগার্ডিং ইগো. What do you remember about ego? What did I say about ego? A week or two back, I took a session on ego. Do you remember what was the session? কিছু মনে আছে
একটু
তোমার?
মনে করে নি, হালকা হালকা মনে পড়ছে। আম,
হুম. হ্যাঁ, তোমার তো মনে পড়ার কথা, because you had a big question about ego.
হুম একটা খুব আমার, মানে একটার উপর একটা, সবে পরীক্ষা দিয়ে উঠেছি তো সব একটার উপর একটা উঠে রয়েছে আমার।
হুম. হুম. And we were
কাগোটা
saying that.
কিছু একটা বলেছিল, তারপরে আমি কিছু একটা বলেছিলাম, কিন্তু আমি মনে করতে পারছি না।
হুম.
সবার আগে স্বাগত আনসার করেছিল ওই দিন, এইটা মনে আছে।
হুম.
মনে করতে পারছি না কি বলেছিলাম, তুমি কিছু একটা ওটাকে কারেকশন করে বললে।
হুম. তারপর তোমারও কিছু প্রশ্ন ছিল. Okay, so ego here, if you remember, we spoke about that ego is an identity that we all look for, and we create identity through different ways, through physical identity, physical items that we own, through our body, through our friends. সবকিছুর থ্রোতে আমরা we try to derive an identity. Who am I? So we are born, the moment we are born, we keep asking, who am I? Who am I? And because we don't know our true identity, the true identity is that I am that consciousness, the Aham Brahma, the pure consciousness, the soul. So we try to fix our identity through these different things that keep that are attached to our life one after another in our while we grow in life. Okay, so first of all, ego is neither good and bad. If you remember, আমি বলেছিলাম ego is neither good and bad. It is just a thing. Like ego is there, it's always there with everybody, but it goes out of proportion when we are not aware of it. আমরা যখন aware থাকি না, তখন আমাদের ইগোটা out of proportion হয়ে যায়, যেখানে we suffer. Okay, we attach too much of ourselves with money, with friends, with our body, how I look, physical items. If you remember, I was speaking on those terms last time. Okay, and ego. How do we dissolve the ego? If you remember, যে কেন আজকে why are we studying ego? Because ego আমাদেরকে সবচেয়ে বেশি কষ্ট আমাদেরকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইগোর থেকে আসে, ফ্রেন্ডস. হুম. লাইফের সব থেকে বেশি কষ্ট, also the suffering also comes from ego, because the first thing which of ego is the thought. হুম. The thought is nothing but an ego. এটা আমার সাথে হচ্ছে, এটা এক্সাম দিচ্ছি, আমার এক্সাম দিচ্ছি, পাশ করতে হবে. Everything is happening through the ego. When I'm too much associating myself with the ego, I will suffer. If I will just do duty without thinking that I am doing it, the universe or the divine is doing through me, আমরা অত সাফার করব না. কিন্তু when do we suffer? We think I am doing it. I am going through the suffering. I am having these, issues in my life. Okay. So the best way to dissolve an ego is to be aware of what I am going through. Okay. And তার জন্যে I told you that we have to know যে কি in what ways are we associating ourselves through ego. First is physical item. If you remember, I told you physical item এর through I tell myself, oh, I own this car, I own this Gucci, and this is how I associate myself, by owning physical items. It is not always about richness, it also about spiritual arrogance হয়ে যায় when we wear all these saffron robes and we start feeling, oh my god, I have become a very enlightened master, I'm a yogi because I wear all these things, I wear all this rudraksh mala. So how I connect myself to the physical item, and then I feel very good about myself, is also one way of how the ego works. Second is your body. Remember last time I told you about, body, আমরা appearance এত বেশি নিজের appearance এ সাথে connected হয়ে যাই, they when the way appearance we think, oh, I am good and good only when I look beautiful, right? The days when I don't look pretty, I don't love myself. Again, it is the play of the ego. Again, I spoke about the things that botox and all these things that happens with old age also happens because we do not accept just the way we are too much associating ourselves with the body, the face. Okay, and that's why we suffer. Old age also we cannot accept beautifully because of the ego. We are so much attached to the body. Not just that, খুব বেশি আমরা body সাথে, if we are too much attached to the body, we might also suffer emotional and physical pain more if you are more attached to the body. I don't know whether I gave you in the morning. I gave example that Ramana Maharishi, he had cancer, and all these big enlightened people, they also go through different challenges. But he was about to go for a surgery, and he said that no, 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 please don't give me anesthesia, just do the stitching while I'm awake. So, and see, and he was not even feeling the pain when the stitching was getting done. Even with Sadhguru also, he was sharing something. He had a major accident, and they could not put him anesthesia, and in front of him only they were stitching. But Sadhguru was very happily talking to the doctor, but the doctor was perspiring because he was scared, because his whole thigh was pierced, and it went open. But for these people, because they do not attach themselves too much to the physical body, that's why they don't suffer also so much. When we attach too much to our physical body, we suffer emotionally, we suffer physically. Emotionally ও কেন সাফার করি, ও আমার সাথে এটা হয়েছে, আমাকে ও এরকম করেছে, আমাকে এটা বলেছে, আমার, so because I think that this is my body, anything that is happening to my body, I take it too seriously. But আমরা যদি বডিটাকেই, if we don't take the body itself seriously, then what is there to be serious about in anything else in life? Okay, that is what happens. Then friends and acquaintances, friends. Then there another way of ego working in our life is through friends and acquaintances. আমরা আমাদের, we think that, oh my god, I have so many friends, and we sometimes, here it's so beautiful in this book, it is saying that most of the time our relationships is like a lane then kind of a relationship. It's always about friendship also. We might be thinking, I mean, we are friends and all these things, but most of the time it is the play of the ego, because it is about, deep down, there is an inherent tendency to use the other person. Ego always wants to use somebody else. Use এখানে তুমি বলতে পারো তো আমি তো কিছু use to score, but use is also in the form of আমি lonely feel করছি, I need somebody, তো আমার তখন একটা friend তো লাগবেই. So again, it comes from the from the area of, I need a friend so that my loneliness can be covered, and that's why I need a friend. And again, another thing it says about, one is use, friends and acquaintances. Another is we always want approval এর জন্যও আমরা friendship বা relationship রাখি, with relatives also, with neighbors or anybody. Approval চাই, right? We don't approve ourselves, we don't feel worthy of ourselves. So what can I do next? I want somebody else to tell me how worthy I am. That's why অনেক টাইমে you will see, sometimes people go to the extent of becoming people pleasers. They will please people to such extent that, okay, একটু তো প্রেজ শুনি, ইস মেয়েটা কত ভালো রে, কত কাজ করে, রাইট? সো এই এতটুক শোনার জন্য আমি একদম আউট অফ দ্য ওয়ে গিয়ে একদম ফ্রেন্ডশিপের একদম মা ভ্যান করে টোরে দেখাবো যে আমি, সো উই হ্যাভ টু বি অ্যাওয়্যার कि আমি এই ফ্রেন্ডশিপটা করছি কেন করছি, what is the point about it? Most of the time it is a play of the ego, where either I want to use that friend, or I want approval from that person. এখানে খুব সুন্দর করে লেখা, এখানে বলছে the ego is only interested in what it can get from others. ইগোর কাজই হলো অন্যের থেকে কি পাবো, লেট মি সি, আমি অন্যের থেকে কি পাবো। ইগোর দুটো খেলা, একটা হলো আমি অন্যের থেকে কি পাবো, আর একটা খেলা হলো, ওয়ান প্লে অফ ইগো ইজ what can I get from somebody else? And another play of ego is that how can I put someone down to feel myself better? ইগোর সবসময় দেখবে, সব সময় ব্রেনের মধ্যে একটা কম্প্যারিজন, কিছু একটা বললো আমার সাথে সাথে আমার একটা কিছু বলতে হবে যাতে আমি একটু নিজেকে বেটার ফিল করি। ওকে, কিছু একটা বলতেই হবে, বা ব্রেনের মধ্যেও আমি কিছু একটা বানিয়ে ফেলবো যাতে আমি একটু নিজেকে বেটার ফিল করি। সো দিস ইজ দ্য ইগো of play of the ego, where it always wants to put somebody down to make oneself better. তো we have to be very aware of it. এই under friends and acquaintances এর under এই কি সুন্দর করে লিখা, if you are honest with yourself, you will realize most of the things you do are attempts to obtain the approval of others. You want your parents to be proud of you, your boss to respect you, and your wife to love you. It is always about what I need, and সেই হিসাবে আমি কাজগুলো করি। That's why, when I remember when Momita, like last year, Momita, Rebecca, they used to join. তখন আমি, they used to join my classes, and you always used to tell them, but please prepare yourself in such a way that you never need friends. And they were a little surprised. I said, prepare in such a way, always at night. You should tell the universe, help me, prepare me so that I never need anybody. I might want, but not need. Because when there is a need for somebody out of desperation, there will always be manipulation. কোনো সময় ওখানে পিওর লাভ ফ্লো করতেই পারে না ওগুলোতে, বেশিরভাগ সময় একটা ম্যানিপুলেটিভ লাভ থাকবে, আনকন্ডিশনাল লাভ হতেই পারে না। The day when you actually don't need anybody, that is the day when you can really offer selfless love to somebody else. Otherwise it is always a conditional love, যে আমি দেব, আমি কতটা পাচ্ছি, বা সময় পাচ্ছি, টাইম পাচ্ছি, সাপোর্ট পাচ্ছি, লোনলিনেস আমার দূর হচ্ছে, সব কিছু মাপ ঝুপ করা। বাট দ্য ডে যখন তোমার মনে হবে যে আমার কোনো বন্ধু চাই না, ওকে, আই এম হ্যাপি, আই ওয়ান্ট ফ্রেন্ডস বাট আই ডোন্ট নিড ফ্রেন্ডস, that is the day when you can really truly become a good friend to somebody. তখন you will not make friendship out of any conditions. then again parent child relationship, এখানে খুব সুন্দর করে, yes,
আই ওয়ান্ট ফ্রেন্ড কিন্তু আই ডোন্ট নিড ফ্রেন্ড, এটা আমাকে একটু ক্লিয়ার করে বলো।
নিড হলো ডেসপারেশন দিয়ে হয়, ফ্রেন্ড কার না চাই বলো, ফ্রেন্ড তো চাই,
হুম
রাইট? উই অল লাভ
হুম
ফ্রেন্ডস, উই অল লাভ কোম্পানি। বাট যখন ডেসপারেশন হয়ে যায়, তখন মানে মনে হয় যে ফ্রেন্ড না হলে আমি বাঁচতেই পারবো না, আমার ফ্রেন্ড লাগবেই, তখনই আমরা ভুলভাল কাজ করব।
হুম আচ্ছা।
ওকে, সো আমার ফ্রেন্ডস, আই হ্যাভ ফ্রেন্ডস, অ্যান্ড বাট আই এম নেভার, মানে এরকম, that there should be a situation that I love friends. Who doesn't love friends? মাইত্রেয়া, তোমরা আমার বন্ধু, কত মানুষ আমার বন্ধু। বাট এট দ্য সেম টাইম আমার বন্ধু চাই আমি আজকে কি করব, কামিং উইকেন্ডে আমি কি করব, সময় কেমনে কাটাবো, এই এই দেশে আমি কি করে থাকবো বন্ধু ছাড়া। দেন ইট ইজ a desperation, it is a need, it becomes a need, it is no longer a want. তখনই আমরা দেখবে ভুলভাল ফ্রেন্ডশিপে ঢুকে যাই, ভুলভাল গ্রুপসে ঢুকে যাই, বিকজ উপায় নেই বন্ধুত্ব। এর জন্য দেখবে আই হ্যাভ সিন মেনি ফ্রেন্ডস যেখানে ঝগড়া হচ্ছে কিন্তু স্টিল ওই গ্রুপে থাকছে, বিকজ গ্রুপ ছাড়া ওরা বুঝতেই পারে না যে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালিটি অলসো ইজ সামথিং, ইউ ক্যান লিভ ভেরি হ্যাপিলি অন ইয়োর ওন। দে হ্যাভ নেভার এক্সপিরিয়েন্স দ্যাট বিউটি অফ লিভিং লাইফ alone. Not a lonely life, but an alone life where the person has chosen to be alone. And if friends come, I'm good with it. ওকে, তো এরকম আমি অনেক দেখেছি যেখানে মানে আমি দেখছি যে হ্যাপি না, গ্রুপটার মধ্যে হ্যাপি না, বাট ডেসপারেশন, আমি কি করব। আইডেন্টিটি, এই যে এগেন এগেন ইগো ইজ অ্যান আইডেন্টিটি, রাইট? কিছু কিছু মানুষের জন্য ওদের আইডেন্টিটি হলো ফ্রেন্ডশিপ। নাহলে নিজেকে আমি নিজে জানি না আমি কোথায়, আমি তো কেউ না, আমার যদি বন্ধু না থাকে তার মানে আমি কিছু না। again it is the play of the ego, right? বন্ধু না থাকলে তুমি কিছু না, এটা কেমনে হতে পারে? হিমালয়াসে যোগীরা হাজার হাজার বছর একা একা বসে বসে ধ্যান করছে, ওরা কি কিছু না?
আমি যখন প্রথম ডেনমার্কে আসি আমার এটা ছিল, একটা অদ্ভুত রকম ক্রেভিং ছিল, মানে বন্ধু হতে হবে বন্ধু হতে হবে।
হুম হুম হুম
এখনো ওটা নেই, ইভেন আমার বিকাশেও মাঝে মধ্যে যেতে ভালো লাগে না।
হ্যাঁ, কেন নেই জানো তো? বিকজ তুমি নিজেকে বন্ধু বানিয়ে ফেলেছো। মেডিটেশন ইজ আ ওয়ে অফ
হুম।
মেকিং ফ্রেন্ডশিপ উইথ। নিজের সঙ্গই এত ভালো লাগে যে তখন বন্ধু চাই।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক ঠিক ঠিক।
যে এরকম না যে বন্ধু চাই না, বাট ডেসপারেশন নেই।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ঠিক ঠিক।
ভালো বন্ধু হলে ভালো কাম, বাট নো
হুম।
টক্সিসিটি নিয়ার বাই।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ঠিক ঠিক।
ওকে, so this is what happens because you have meditators. Why they are normally very alone people? They love their aloneness, meditators, because they love their company. Mhm. They start becoming alone. Actually, আমার একটু সময়, even now also, like, I went for one day with one of my friends and they are such good friends, such good friends. Still একটা টাইমের পর মনে হচ্ছিল, I need my me time. I need my meditation. I need to go back to my cave. এরকম একটা ফিলিং হচ্ছিল। হুম। পান্না বলছে, তুমি আরে বাবারে, তুমি এরকম হয়ে গেলে তো আমরা কোথাও যেতে পারবো না, যদি তোমার এত অ্যালোন টাইম চাই। বাট but this is what happens. You have to, this is the beauty. So, parent and child. Second part is parent and child relationship. এখানেও there is another thing that যে parents রা না, you will see যে তুমি you will see, দেখেছো কোনো কোনো খেলার ময়দানে, if you see, there's those parents who are in the soccer game or any game, badminton game, some championship is happening. You should see, instead of seeing the child, you should see the parent. ওকে, কোনো একটা খেলছে বা কিছু একটা করছে, you should see the parent, as if the parent is actually playing. The
হ্যাঁ
way the
হ্যাঁ।
parent will shout, কি করলে এটাকে, কেন এটা এরকম
হুম
টাইপের, কি করতে গেলে। So why it happens is that they associate, again, the parent or the child is associating himself or herself in the form of the other person. Parent starts seeing him or her life through the child. So that is
হুম
the reason many child in India, why do they commit suicide so much? Because parents ने
হুম
कुछ नहीं कर पाया, कुछ उखाड़ नहीं पाया जीवन में। अभी नेक्स्ट को
হুম
क्या बचा है? बच्चा बचा है। मेरा जो सपना है, मैं अपनी बच्चे के थ्रो से करूंगी। And for that, I don't even care for my child's emotions. I just care that this was my dream. My dream was to become this great badminton player, tennis player, or this dancer. I could not do it. Now my child is going to do it. This is why this is what it is, again, talking about ego. That this is how we don't even realize that we start living life through the child. এখানে very beautifully he has used the word vicariously. It says that as a result, they try to control their children's lives and use them to live the life they wanted to live when they were younger. This is called living vicariously through your children. You see this all the time. Next time you watch a junior soccer game, watch the parent on the touchline to see how some react. Yeah, that's why it's so important, friends. See, friends, there also, we should understand that বলে না, if you see all these birds, all these animals, okay, they are actually sometimes much wiser than us. Okay, you will see that they are so protective of their babies. They're extremely protective of their babies when they are young. Okay, they will take care, they will feed, they will make sure the bird will not move. The father bird goes and brings everything, the mother bird stays there, gives warmth to the eggs, does everything that is needed for that chick to grow. And once it grows, that bird itself kicks that bird and throws it out of the nest. Okay, but in our human, especially western method, still they do it. After 14, 15, they kick them out, or they themselves go out. They know it is time for them to have their independent life. But for Indian mentality and the Asian mentality is like, मेरा बच्चा 70 का हो, मैं 100 का हूं, तब भी वो मेरा बच्चा ही है, मैं ही उसको बोलूंगी क्या करना है जीवन में. That's when all the problems happen in our life, friends. Okay, it's very essential. Even there is this science I told you of family constellation. हाँ, जहाँ पे आफ्टर मैरिज इफ यू डोंट ब्रेक द बॉन्ड विद द पेरेंट्स, द एनर्जेटिक नेगेटिव bonds, जहाँ पे you don't break your parent will, your marriage will never be happy, because in a bed then six people sleep. How can six people sleep in a small double bed? But if you don't break those energetic bonds with your parents in a bed, the wife's mother and father sleeps, the husband's mother and father sleeps, and they keep telling what they need to do in their life without trusting that they are adult enough. Mistake bhi karenge to karke seekh lenge. You have no right anymore to interfere in their life. But no, they still keep interfering because of this ego. They still think that okay, they are living their life through their kids. इतने बुढ़े भी हो जाते हैं फिर भी, आई चोज शेयर यू माई एग्जाम्पल ऑल्सो, राइट? हाउ माई मदर, she out of love, but how out of love also sometimes becomes very suffocating if it is about some crossing somebody else's. Even if your parents, even if your children, if you even if you have the closest of the bonds, remember there is a boundary, and we should never cross that boundary. हमें पेरेंट्स को की बाउंड्री में क्रॉस करके इंटरफेयर नहीं करना है, और पेरेंट्स को भी हमारा बाउंड्री क्रॉस करके हमारे अंदर नहीं घुसना है. We should allow them to live their lives independently. Okay, but this doesn't happen because of a lot of ego again. We do not break that energetic cord, and हम इसको entanglement बोलते हैं. In family constellation science it is called entanglement issues, जहाँ पे हम पूरी तरीके से अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ toxically entangled हो गए हैं. Okay, then couples, friends, also, we also hear na a lot of times that uske bina to mera जीवन अधूरा है, and we feel that it's so romantic. We think it is so romantic. Hindi movie types. Huh? English movies also, like, okay, it's my life is incomplete without you. Huh? But it is also an ego, friends. Why will a life be incomplete without somebody else? You are a complete life. You are a whole life. You are a soul. Yeah, even if it is a partner, even if it is something else, क्यों incomplete? तुम खुद के लिए, you will do everything for others, but you cannot sacrifice yourself for somebody else. Okay? So that's why here it is saying that, even to have this thought of that couple identifying myself, you have your own identity. Find your own. Problem क्या है? हमारे पास आइडेंटिटी की कमी जब हो जाती है, तब हम बच्चे के थ्रू आइडेंटिटी खोजते हैं, तब हम हस्बैंड्स एंड वाइफ्स के थ्रू आइडेंटिटी खोजते हैं, बिकॉज हम खुद को हमें पता ही नहीं कि दैट वी आर सच डिवाइन सोल्स. वी आर कॉन्शियसनेस, प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस, पार्ट ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्स. Okay, that's why it said, and then we start feeling, that's why you will see when one of the couple expires, we feel so lost. होता है कि नहीं होता है कि ज्यादातर टाइम ही होता है कि अगर एक दोनों में से एक गुजर जाता है ओल्ड एज में भी, हम फिर घबराने लगते हैं, हमें समझ भी नहीं आता है हम क्या करेंगे, बिकॉज हमने इतना ज्यादा अपने आप को उनके साथ, अपना आइडेंटिटी उनके साथ बना दिया है कि हम क्या है, हम वो भूल ही गए हैं. Okay, so this is what it talks about. See, so loneliness is not cured by human company. Loneliness is cured by contact with reality, by understanding that we don't need people. Okay, we might want people, we might love company, but it is and I in the morning also I asked कि तुम लोगों को तो दोस्त मिल गए ना, सबको, हम सबको, सबके लाइफ में दोस्त है, हस्बैंड्स है एंड एवरीथिंग है, लोनलीनेस गया है जीवन से? And many of them in the morning said no, because till you find the path to yourself, till you find the path to loving yourself, becoming your own best friend, you will always remain lonely, you will always feel lonely. Okay, this is again an identity ego problem कि couples के साथ connect कर लेते हैं and everything. Even if you see ना, there are also, you will see examples of youngsters. देखना कुछ कुछ youngsters है, they keep going one after another relationship, as if it is like they cannot stay single. They cannot stay single. They feel their identity is only connected to being with somebody else. You will see a lot of, and I think I heard also in one of the TV programs, somebody said that I'm in love with love. Some people are so much in love with the idea of love कि कोई भी काना लूला लंगड़ा कोई भी चलेगा, लेकिन एक लव चाहिए लाइफ में. What do you say? Okay. So this is also comes from ego problem, friends, and preparing yourself. If the partner is not okay, and I realize and I start developing my own financial independence, there should be a day when I should, if the universe wants, if God wants, we should also be ready to leave the partner and live an independent life. Okay. Then the final is belief, friends. Okay. Belief is, it is so true. Belief is such a thing. From childhood we have been grown with so many beliefs. I belong to this house, I belong to this community, मैं बंगाली हूँ, कोई मरवाड़ी है. Then again, religion में भी change होते हैं. I belong to Hindu, I belong to Muslim. Then again, political ideas, BJP, Congress, and CPM. So and slowly, with all these things which keep develop, and there are so many other, it is just one belief. There are so many other beliefs that we have developed, and those belief, कभी कभी वो belief हम इतना believe कर लेते हैं, we are so associating ourselves with the belief through the ego that we take things so personally. Hmm? You can see even in the form of so many things, right? हम मारने काटने पे भी आ जाते हैं because we believe that I'm from this part, I'm from that part. So this all happens from the ego of having these kind of beliefs. So friends, that's why, what did I speak about from the beginning? Now, Swagata and Anandita, I need your explanation because I want to know whether you are clear with what I spoke. What did you understand? Even Afsanji also. And then we will go with a small meditation. Hmm? Who will start? What is ego first?
ইগো নিজেকে ইম্পর্টেন্স দেওয়া,
Identification. Okay.
আইডেন্টিফিকেশন।
Identify করছি, importance ওটা again, yes, that is one, but the main part of ego is that how do I identify myself? We want some identity, right? So we associate ourselves with material things. This is what I am. I wear Gucci, I wear this, I wear Prada. This is how we identify. Then identifying with the body, I'm so beautiful. And that's why when you are so beautiful, when you start growing old, you lose your confidence because you have identified so much with your physical body that now, because you're growing old, you're losing confidence. Agar if you would not have identified so much with the body, you would have still maintained that confidence irrespective of whether you're growing old or not. This is how the ego works. Ego is such a play. Half of the problem in our life is because of the play of the ego. And today I spoke about how in different ways the ego plays. The ego plays through physical items, I shared. The ego plays through body. I said कि बहुत ज्यादा बॉडी से अटैच हो जाओगे तो इमोशनली और फिजिकली भी ज्यादा सफर करोगे. एक ऑपरेशन में जो बंदा ज्यादा अपने बॉडी से अटैच्ड है वो ऑपरेशन के बाद ज्यादा पेन से जाता है बिकॉज द पर्सन इज मोर अटैच्ड टू द बॉडी. दैट्स व्हाई द सफरिंग इज मोर. Okay. Then I spoke about friends and acquaintances, where we need friends and acquaintances for our own use and to get proper approval. फोर्थ वाज पेरेंट चाइल्ड रिलेशनशिप से भी हम अपने आप को इतना आइडेंटिफाई कर लेते हैं. कभी कभी देखा है ना, मम्मियां अपना जीवन सब कुछ निछावर कर देते हैं बच्चों के लिए, और फिर बोलेंगे भी कि मैंने अपने किया क्यों? जितना करना है उतना करो, राइट? आपका आइडेंटिटी अपने बच्चों से बनाने के लिए किसने बोला है? मैं नहीं बनाओ. इवन बच्चे भी ना, मैं बोलते हैं ना, मैं अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए कितना किया, क्यों किया तो बोला क्यों? Okay. Then again, it's an identity. We connect ourselves so much with our friends. Yes, Afsanji, you want to share something?
No, the same thing. I wanted to say the same thing. What you said now. Ego.
Yeah.
I'm doing so much for you.
Yeah.
When you do something, you don't have to show that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's with your husband also, with your children also, do the same thing with you. I feel it. Let ego goes on.
Okay. So it happens with it's not just in one family, it happens with everywhere. We want to show what we are doing. Okay. It's not just one place, it's everywhere. And that's why we have to be very careful about working with the ego. Okay. And we not associating ourselves, ego always wants to. And then two things I said. And कभी ऐसा मत सोचो कि किसी और को हम लोग पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं. खुद को भी पूछो क्या मैं ऐसा करती हूँ. Ego wants to put somebody else down to feel better. Okay. So क्या मैं ऐसा करती हूँ. So ego का आज पढ़ाई इसीलिए हो रहा है ताकि मैं खुद को भी पूछूं मैं किस किस जगह में. So the world of spirituality is all about I will work on myself, and when I work the environment changes. This is the beauty of, if you continue this spiritual practice with me, you will realize that everything is a mirror in the universe. जब मैं अपने आप को चेंज करती रहती हूँ दिन ब दिन दिन ब दिन दिन ब दिन, slowly full world change हो जाता है. Okay. So here we are not here to pinpoint, we are just going to focus. Ego किसी और को नीचे दिखा के अपने आप को बड़ा करता है. Okay. ये उसका काम ही है. So we have to be aware of it. And finally it is the couples. Couples, I told you what we do, and then comes the belief system. Everybody clear? We will go with meditation now. Nobody has question? Breathe in and breathe out. Today we are going to breathe in and breathe out with this beautiful understanding and having gratitude that we understood to some extent the workings of our ego. So grateful, because when we are aware of our ego, we can very easily work with our ego and suffer less. Breathe in and breathe out through your heart. It is time for us to have a very beautiful world, a world free of ego, of the negative workings of the ego which wants to put somebody else's down. To free from the separation that the ego creates. Breathe in and out through your heart. today we will work on dropping our ego. Go deeper into meditation. Even meditation becomes very deep when we drop all our egos. Keep all the physical items that you have accumulated throughout your life on the side. Go deep into meditation. Keep all the items that you have accumulated and you thought they are so precious to you. Understand they are nothing but the play of the ego, no matter how costly the items are in your life. They are there just for your use. And be grateful for the use, but don't take them to the head. Don't make them a life and death situation. All physical items are there in our life to make our life beautiful. Let them make our life beautiful. At the same time, not take them seriously, too seriously. It is our birthright to own comfortable things in life. But let not things own you. It is time for you to drop even your physical identity, the body that you associate yourself so much with. Drop this identity that you are this body and go even deeper into the emptiness of the universe, the Brahma or the Allah, whatever you call. Drop this physical self, understanding I'm much more than the body, I'm not just the body. Drop your mind and your emotions as well that you take so seriously. They are also play of the ego. The hurt, the game of the drama of hurt that you play is also a play of the ego. That the mind and the emotions are playing. Drop them. Drop the role of the friend or the acquaintances that you are playing. Drop it because you are much more than just being a friend to somebody. Drop this identification that you are this great person's friend, or this rich person's friend, or this renowned person's friend. Really doesn't matter. Drop all these identities. Drop your identity even as a parent or a child. You are much more than that. Your child will suffer less if you no longer associate yourself thinking that I am living my life through my child. Let your child be free. and let you be free. Drop your identification as a husband, wife, or a partner and realize that you are much more than that. Drop your identities as a person growing as a Bengali, Punjabi, a Gujarati, or as a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian. Drop all these identities. You are much more than that. The more you drop all the identities, leave behind all that you have accumulated, you go deeper and deeper into your real self. Who are you beyond all these identities? You are this pure consciousness. Merge into this emptiness, become one with the universe, where you are no longer the body, you are no longer in a particular time, you are in eternal time. You are no longer in a particular place, you are everywhere in the universe. purpose of learning ego is not to point fingers at others, but to understand where am I becoming too attached to my ego. Trying to be right, it is also ego. In the world of spirituality, everyone can be right, and so can you. Sometimes, to the closest people, we make them suffer by trying to prove them they are wrong so that we feel better by being right. And in that process, we don't realize how much we break their confidence. We demotivate them. We hurt them. Trying to be right is a very, very big ego. Let us drop today this tendency to be right. Instead, let us use a new way of a tendency to understand the other person. Why is that person behaving the way that person is behaving? Instead of trying to prove who is right and who is wrong. This also happens when I am aware that my ego is in full swing playing and trying to be right, and I cannot allow my ego to win. Drop the ego whenever there is a fight. Merge into this emptiness. You can go deeper and deeper into the emptiness by removing all the external beliefs and clothes that you have picked up, worn. Ego should be worn like a loose cloth, not too attached to the body, so that you know that the cloth is not your body. The cloth is just a cloth. Whenever time comes, you need to drop the cloth. This is how an ego should be worn, like a very loose fitting gown. Enjoy everything in life. physical items, your beauty, your physique, your friends, your children, your parents, your partners, your husband, your wives, your beliefs. But like a loose fitting gown, you should be ready to drop it whenever the time comes without a single thought, joyfully leaving it behind whenever needed. Letting go of the friends when you have to leave them behind and move to a new city, knowing that they are in your heart always, sending them a goodbye and moving with joy that you are going to make new friends in the new city. Letting go of your child when the child grows and becomes adult, understanding that it is time for the child to fly. I can no longer hold the child back. Or the child holding the parent very tightly, losing each other's grip so that both the parent and the child can breathe and live freely. Same is it with partners. Let each live their life on their own with full freedom. The fact that you are a Bengali or a Hindi speaking person or a Marathi or a South Indian should also be worn as a loose fitting gown, not getting too attached to that. Same is with whether you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian. Wear it like a very loose fitting gown, not associating too much with this identity as well. The more we wear ego like a loose fitting gown, the more happier our lives become. As you have freed yourself from the bondages of ego tonight, feel the joy of freedom that you have received in return. This is the gift of freeing yourself from ego. See yourself flying and soaring in the sky, the beautiful vast sky of pure consciousness. Leaving everything behind. Whenever you are ready, take your time slowly and slowly come back to the here and now. Thank you very much, friends. Have a great night, sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.